Hi everyone again. We decided to do the second part for the emotional unavailability in your partners during the journey as well as in yourself. So we were having another discussion with Dio before what other points we should discuss and what are the implications, what is causing you in the journey if you're emotionally unavailable, withdrawn, and actually maybe give you more encouragement why it's important for you to work on that, work on those blocks, just to work within your field, just to generate right or send right signals to the universe and attract the proper people who can help you to evolve even more. So I think the first part we will be really focusing on those reasons that we found, why those fears are limiting your evolution. Like, why is it really blocking your further part when you're kind of losing the access to your emotions and, blocking this flow of the proper emotions, both positive, both negatives. Because even based on my example, I've had such a fast shift and consciousness and in my evolution once I opened for emotions and just became vulnerable. So that's a short introduction from me, but right now you'll continue.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back here. I gotta say this. Hello, everybody. Um, Talking about with Paulina, we had a lot of discussions about this emotional availability, but that leading to this. I mean, you can study yourself psychology. Talking about this uh, relationship situations within that. Hi, Grande. Hi, Lorna. Guys, thank you for coming here. If you got questions, please put them in. That can help with the topics. But also that emotions in there, they're leading to a lot of things that uh, can prevent you, first of all, on your personal journey, and a second of all, the journey when you get in it in a relationship, and when you have a connection, and you have not have this available to yourself, you're not permitting yourself to be available. That can lead into a lot of things. Even that today the topic, oh, man, huh? All right, somebody doesn't want to talk for it, but what I'm talking about here is about this uh, part of the emotional availability. When you open the emotions inside of you, when you open to what you feel inside of you, the truth within yourself, you are going to be learning a lot of things. One of the things that came in from yesterday's download, that was about understanding and choices. And when I look at it there with an understanding and choices in there, you're going to choose to feel those emotions. You're going to be choose to be emotionally close towards someone. But when you're close towards someone, do you look at it yourself? Why are you close towards someone? Why did this situation comes to you? Why this is triggers in there? And the emotional unavailable inside of you is going to be triggered the path that you have to look. You do things that you never done before. As the journey, as the twin flames journey is teaching you inside of yourself to fix the stuff within your personality, because you want to experiencing this energies, you want to experiencing this, but the emotions inside of you, they're driving the energy. The emotion, it becomes the energy that you are emitting through that gravity. That gravity is actually that gravitations. It presents the informations. And with understanding of this, that helps you, first of all, within yourself, but also telling you where the areas of you to evolve. Because as we talk with Paulina, the evolution is there. That evolution that drives you up. And part of this evolution is you to be emotionally mature, because that emotional immaturity inside of you brings that power, that these emotions, they turns into these beautiful vibrations. And those vibrations within the soul that you're feeling, now they become emotions. One of the example for this is about that you're going to have to reteach yourself of what the emotions, the proper emotions are. Am I going to find out that during the journey, when that we talk with Paulina, that some of the people said, well, this journey breaks everything down. It breaks down where it's the false, where it's not real. Of course you're gonna be broken because you understand the brokenness of this false reality, while everything clicks in the real reality. What is broken? The illusion. And if you had a lot of illusions in the life, a lot of situations is in life, in there, you're also gonna find this emotional unavailability inside of you. Because right now the emotion unavailability towards the new one can kick in, and then you go ahead and you reconstructing yourself. And this is why this topic about emotional availability is so huge. I mean, it's and there. Back to you, love.
Mm.
Take over for it.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Grande, Laura. Hi, welcome to the chat. I wanted to talk about these catalytic experiences that we are having, because I'm not sure if that's a standard, but it looks to me that for people, especially who are having issues with emotions, that's the way that they begin their spiritual journey, through this emotional experience. And I think especially for people who had issues with becoming close to someone, the universe brings them this person that they kind of find this internal strength and this motivation to get close to someone enough just to develop those feelings. Because during those times we need this emotional experience for healing. So it's just, if it's necessary, if that's your time to begin your journey in these next steps through the evolution, the universe will throw you to soul connections just to help you with healing. And it's, everything is good, and we are opening up to another person. And those separations that we are talking, of course they happen because they have to happen, but then this is not the end of your journey. Like, that's why I was talking to Dio. Some people are saying, oh, the journey broke me and now I'm left broken. But but the problem is that people are assuming that the journey is over once they get separated with their twin, and then that's the moment they are supposed to wait, because the universe will bring us together, because that's what people say. But honestly, this journey never ends, and it's your responsibility to try and continue the journey. There is unlimited number of souls that can come to your life, to help you further with the healing. But you see, the problem sometimes is people are putting expectations, because let's say they found this person that in their eyes it was this ideal person, ideal partner. They were able to open up to themselves, but then they put expectations that that's the only person who could reach me in this deep level. And once they go into separation, they are broken, they feel alone, instead of seeing other opportunities to heal. Because the moment you realize that you're on your own as this journey, and you don't want to be counting on someone to come back to your life to continue healing, that's how you send the universe the message to the energies that you're ready to begin healing further. In separation, with twin, without twin, you don't care, you continue your own journey, but you just have to send the right message. And just put aside this expectation that you can continue your healing just with this specific person because we were on the same vibe, that's the one, and until he or she is back, I am stuck, I need to wait until they come back. So I think this is an important point, that this healing process and the pace of healing, it really depends on you. And if you're able to shut down this human needs and expectations for the specific phase and person, you can evolve so fast. So I think that's why it's the difference. For some people it takes them 2 years to progress to the next phase. Some people are waiting for 10-15 years. I wish more people are stubborn and just continue on a journey faster. Like it doesn't make sense to waste this time. So that's what I wanted talk about, that it's really like this happens. Like you have to have those emotions ready for you to heal yourself, because that's the only way if you had issues with that in the past.
Now, since you are talking, darling, that information comes in about it that why are people waiting for another person? They're waiting for that person to open up their emotions. They're waiting for these emotions that they are missing within them so they can receive from the person because they wasn't developed within there. That emotional unavailability shows up a lot of these situations. Yeah, I can't wait for him to wake up or her to wake up. I'm gonna wait him or her to develop this, to wait for it. I know it's gonna happen. I know it's this and this and this and so on. And from this, I knowing people don't do the work of that inner selves. And when those emotions are not open up, then the person have no other choice but healing on themselves because you can't receive something that you don't have for it. People are still searching with those emotions who are to have these new experiences, to have this love where they feel first within them as an awakening of the reality of the real love is. And now they don't see that they make themselves unavailable because the person have choices. And as I talk a little bit about these choices, choices are based out of what? Of understanding. You have to understand the things in there. What is it happening in there? Once you understand, then you make the choices. And then the choices brings you what? To understand your choices. This is a very good higher level that it comes in. Because if you made a choice because there was no emotions is in there before, and you block those energies inside of you, now the universe says like, I'm going to send you another person until you open. The energy of the evolution is coming here to stay like, open up. You're a flower that needs to bloom. You're a seed on this ground. Open up, and then when you open it up, you discover yourself, but you also discover how beautiful the earth is. So chasing and running, it has a lot to do with this emotional availability or unavailability inside, because you have to look inside of you. What is the reason? Stop looking for an outside source or a person who are you connecting in there. Start looking in you first. And that helps us a lot. Guys, I'm giving you this advice. That helps us a lot to look at inside of us. What do you react before? What it wasn't before? What I need to change? And the evolution tells you, here is what the choice you had before. You made that choice on the basis of that old understanding. Now you have this choice of following the new path, the new understanding, so you can make new choice. And when you make that new choice is inside of you, then you begin to understand it, flowing within the new. Of course, the old is always going to be pulling you back into there. So, grande expectation for others must be eliminated. And as long as you expect another person to give you love, you must be first of all give yourself that love. Exactly. This is what actually me and Paulina practice it. The self-love first within us. No matter of what is going on and so on, she can depend on me or I can depend on her. We develop that self-love within first within ourselves towards ourselves. But then the journey itself brings all that connections. That's what the beauty is, because even there right now, even our current situations, we're still practicing that. I'm not forcing my stuff on her of what I want. She doesn't force me her stuff or that what she wants about it. but we're following the unification part to see what is that goals, what is the journey is leading in there. But the more we're walking that way, guys, without the expectations from the other side in there, the more we evolve within us. But also, once we evolve more within us, the energies even open up more. The new energies that we are getting at right now, as the downloads that comes in and so on, they're incredibly good. They're incredibly great. And I'm so happy about this in there. But yes, granted, the expectations. The expectations is coming in because uh, you're expecting all this. It's this divine will and love. Exactly. Exactly. So,
Mm. Yeah, we
Mike
have
is
one more
all
comment
yours.
before that from Lorna. It seems the opening up is really to open up for further healing. Yeah, I wanted to talk about it because it's really those catalyst, this ignition state. It comes to you to crack your heart open and just show you this. They're just showing you the potential, what you can have, and what you're capable of experience with another person, not with this specific person, just with another human being. And that's the beginning of this experience. But for everyone, it's very subconscious. Like, we don't have control over when it happens, with whom it happens. It just happens. So this is all orchestrated. But the next part of the journey, you know what you're capable of, but then you see those blocks in you, because there will be mirror within the connection. And then once the separation happens, or once those even initial arguments, for example, happen, you kind of see where is your limits, like what do you still have to heal. But right now it becomes conscious, like it's your responsibility to work towards that. And again, it comes down to this taking responsibility for your next part of the journey. And the question then it comes, what are you caring from that moment? Do you care just about the union, getting into the union with another person? Or are you caring about yourself, and you would do whatever it takes for you to heal yourself? And you stop putting this another person on this main goal and main focus of your healing. You care about feeling good, and just, you know what is missing in you, and just really try to build yourself up and just overcome those fears and those blocks. And yes, sometimes it will involve people who are not spiritually awakened. Sometimes it will also be normal human beings that universe will be sending your way in a proper moment and proper place. So especially in those moments, when you're open for healing, and you don't put those expectations of I'm able to heal, but just with this specific person, because I cannot open up with anything, anyone more. If you shut this down, you will get intuitive nudges, probably to go somewhere or just to do something different. And if anything, I can just advise people to listen to those. Just put your twin out of the picture there and just follow what your intuition is telling you, because that's the energies will be trying to guide you to the right moments and right people that can help you with the next step. And then of course there will be tests, like they will put maybe some person in front of you. What are you going to do? Like, are you ready to take this next step? Are you able to overcome your fears and build yourself up? So towards, of course, like in the end you're working towards a union, but you're working towards a union with yourself and just getting all of your energies in balance. So definitely this opens up this gate and it starts you on this healing journey, but it starts you very unconsciously, and then this is your step. What are you gonna do next with this?
There's a great point in here. And I'm so happy that when we're talking, we open it up. We open up the things the way they are. And it's not about jumping, but following this. You said the key word in there. When you put that person in the center in there of your consciousness for it, you put that person in that pedestal inside of you, and you begin to do it this because of the person. And when the person is not there, all of a sudden you begin to blaming yourself and everything that you built because of the person, not because of yourself, not because of the journey, not because of the things. What happened with you? You become emotionally unavailable now because of yourself. So this is why when you put the things inside of you, and that pedestal is the journey itself, is the force itself, is the universe itself in there for it, and you are in there, and that energies within yourself for it, then you begin to understand this journey much forward is not about the person, because when you put that person up there, where are you? That person is in the center of your consciousness. That person, you controlling your life. You 24/7 obsessions with this person and what this person will do, and so on and so on. And the energies are not flowing. The emotions is not flowing because of the obsessions is there. And the obsession is actually leading. It's also a part of emotionally unavailable in there, because when you have obsession, you can't have love. Obsession is not love. Love is when you allow the person to be who they are and you love them as who they are. But when you become obsessed with them there, or obsessed with the ideas, or obsessed with the energies inside of you without looking at the reality, and there you losing the emotions within yourself, then those energies in there. And talking about within this, that I spoke about a few years back, you need to replace that internal image that this is that person inside of you, and that internal image that is inside of you. Replace it either with yourself or within the universe. Put the universe in there. Let the universe giving you and guiding you within the journey. The more you're crossing one step into the journey, the better it's gonna comes in. It's gonna help you to create this evolutions within yourself, because the evolution is the guidance that you need. What's next? What I need to do next? What I need to evolve next? And there. So that what is. Um, we must learn that the love and the pain within us showing us the way. You gotta have both. Okay, you gotta have. You need to understand that choices always comes with two things. Because if it's a one thing, there is no choice. But if there is a two things, then you have to choose. And what the evolutionist is asking you from the two choices that you have, you to create a third one, uniting the both choices. So that way, when you have the both choices inside of you and the both choices are satisfied, there is the internal peace. And that is a one thing that the future generations is going to be learning with the age of Aquarius. Because all the conflicts that right now currently we have, they're not based of the understanding. They're not basic that we need to choose one option or another. But if we choose a third options that satisfy both sides, then there is a peace within, then that is evolution. And that's what the evolution wants. It's the same thing. The evolution wants two species to come together to create a third one, which is that third one is the evolution itself. So this is what the union thinks is gonna come. And it's not about this physical situations and so on. Yes, you need it. I didn't say that you don't, but with what understanding though is inside of you. And that's what the journey triggers everything in there. Because your level of emotions, your emotional intelligence inside of you, it turns to that spiritual intelligence. But if you're lacking the emotional intelligence, the spirituality comes in and turns into informations that helps you to develop your emotions intelligence. And that emotion intelligence is going to comes in and help you better within your life for it to make better choices, to have this beautiful heaven on earth experience there. Back to you, darling.
Mm. Yeah, a few things I wanted to comment also on this love and pain, because I think that's a problem with many people. They prefer to stay in this runner chaser dynamic, and unless you know, you decide to break the cycle, and if you decide to stop chasing really and say, I'm done, I prefer to just start my healing the proper way. But then, it requires the surrender part, that it just doesn't is not happening with this person, and maybe it will not happen this lifetime. Are you able to stop putting your life on hold, and can you just really move to the next step and just process this pain? There will be pain, because this is the moment that you really acknowledge that you don't have a control over this journey, and it's like there is just different pathway for you in this life. Maybe this other person is not in this picture. Like, are you able to believe in that, and can you live with your life even with this knowledge? It's like, can you understand that the union in a way that you imagine is not happening in this life? So the moment for me, that was a big shock, because I felt and I realized I was keeping myself safe, and then kind of surrendered to the separation, but not really, because I still believed that this other person is coming back. I felt it, like I was getting messages and everything was not happening. But just the moment I realized, oh, maybe it's not happening, maybe it's my mind playing tricks on me, and I just keep myself in this waiting period, I had to process that, really surrender. It's like, oh, maybe it's not happening in this lifetime. And that was the moment that it triggered a lot of pain. I was not happy, because I had to let go this control over the whole journey. But at the same time, I just gave myself this grieving period. I think that's what people are trying to omit. Like, they don't want to go this way. They prefer to stay in this runner chasing dynamic as a chasers, because they just call themselves chasers, and that's their explanation for why they are stuck on their journey. Oh, I'm just chaser, I need to wait for my twin. So I think that's the issue. It's just, if you really want to evolve in this journey, you have to be open for this pain period. Like, this is just life. It's normal to be engaged with someone emotionally for some time, because that was required for you to get you to this point. But then let's move to the next one, or just let's continue journey on your own. So don't really embracing those positive and negative sides of the connections. Like, this is the key. You cannot avoid the pains, because this is just showing you the example and lesson for the future. How are you going to react to painful experiences? Can you see that this is part of your experience here?
That experience here is actually one of the most important one. You gotta experiencing the runner chaser's dynamic, because that's gonna help you to understand the both sides there. Why did the one person run and accept that they're running? But also you have to accept why you're chasing, and what does that has to do within this within you. Once you understand that you are in the runner chaser's dynamic, as the journey is leading itself in there, you receive what? You receive the awareness, and that the awareness triggers inside of you all those processes, all those and healing wounds, all those energies inside of it that you're not permitting yourself. And when you pass that threshold of not permitting yourself to experiencing something, and you allow everything to experiencing within you, all that energy in there turns to illumination. When you become that illumination process within yourself, then you begin to develop, not develop, but you kind of like repositions the broken pieces of what you thought the emotions are, because the emotions are breaking down during this period. And when you put them together in the base of your soul and the spirit within yourself, by yourself, we're not talking about with this. Yeah, you might gonna need some guidance, you might need a talk, you might need some therapy, so you can get your understandings better. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if you go to a psychologist or go to any other people and so on for it. But once you get this, you put it together, you put the puzzles together, that illumination comes to you, and then you're moving within a that journey in there. You're not anymore unavailable, because the part of you not to be with another person, when clearly the other side doesn't want to be with you, is you not permitting yourself to be available to other connections. And if you're not available to other connections, you're not going to be able to experience it. And this is going to be one of the thresholds of that emotion unavailability, because it's going to becomes into a point of this journey that even if you're not with the one person or with other, it's going to be around this point that you're going to be available, not because of other person that you put in on the pedestal, not because of anything else. It's because of you and the energy of the evolutions inside of you. That is going to comes in this wisdom that you're going to gain. And then by you making available yourself for getting to exploring this, being in other connections, be with other people and so on, you're going to understand your journeys continue. It's more even beautiful than ever before. But you have to have this pain and love, as Paulina said, because it takes a courage and strength within you. That faith that, darling, we talked about it earlier, is you. So go back to you, baby.
Yeah, I was just coming from understandings were coming. I was thinking, why just acknowledging this pain is so important, and I think it comes down to this soul experience here on earth. When we come here, we need to collect experiences, and it's just as long as it's necessary, the universe is throwing you the experiences you have to or would be beneficial for your growth. So that's why it's important, to embrace anything that comes to your life. If it's painful experience of separation and really not getting what you want and being sad for maybe like 1 week, 2 weeks because you're losing someone and really grieving this, just don't be afraid and embrace it and just experience it. Once you're done with it, you don't have to repeat it. You've been through this painful experience. So once you're done with it, even the vision of this happening again, it becomes less scary. Even within this connection, like I accept that it can happen, but you know it makes this connection even stronger because we both experience that. We know how much it takes to be in a pain, to be involved with someone and lose this person. We've been there. We know what's gonna happen afterwards, but we both know that we can get through this. You're gonna be fine no matter what. So it takes off this fear, which really happens with the twin flames, that they are getting engaged the first time. I remember feeling this fear of losing someone, and it was so strong that it was even blinding me, this vision. At some point the fear was stronger than love that I experienced, and I saw there is something wrong with it because I'm afraid of losing someone instead of really experiencing the connection I have. So that was for me the red flag that, the fear started to take over. So you see, if you overcome this and you get into another connection, or maybe this person comes back, there's different various scenarios. But the next time it happens, you embrace the pain, you know how it is to lose someone, something, to be in this painful situation. You're not afraid of it anymore. So it doesn't paralyze you anymore. So at the same time, you can just build stronger connection because it doesn't take your energy that much. It's just, okay, it can happen, it's reality. But let's not focus on that because, if it happens, but let's try to build something here. So I think that this is like a part of preparation that you have in life, to just embrace all the scenarios and be ready for them. That's how you prove that you can go through them. So I really believe that as an experience, it's very important for you to process that. That's why you shouldn't be avoiding it as much as like your ego will be trying to protect you from that. But the moment you realize, oh, there is some limitation there because I'm keeping myself in this safe space, let's see what is on the other side of this safe space or outside of it. So that's what I was coming to me, that don't avoid it, because there is some lesson in there.
So beautiful, Odess. What you just talk about, darling, that was a unprocessed grief. And a part of this grief there is that a lot of the people feel this grief, but they don't understand there is a love that it's blocked and it cannot be expressed. It has no point in there. And people didn't take the time to grieving in there. They still hold on to that love without moving in there, without it's been moving in there. But when you take that time to grieve and let it go, and that energies make you to overcome that grief, you are at a process, as you said, all these energies in there. And then that love with no point and no directions, it begins to turn to self-love, as a Lorna said in here, pains turn into power. That process right there is one of the beauties of coming in. Is one of the beauties that of these transitions comes in, and the twin flames for it, they understand that part, and it comes in to it because you gotta evolve. You're here to become the experience because it's not about the person; it's by you. And this is why a lot of the people mistaken it. This they don't open these emotions to process this grief. Grief is also emotion, guys. Grief is also emotion. And if you're not available to process this inside of you, carrying that grief with you, you're carrying it every day that you're not with that person. Your life becomes mess. You become depressed. You become this. You become that until there comes a time when you say, you know what, enough is enough. I have to be happy. I need to leave. And then that force of evolution comes in. It's like, oh my God, finally, let's get you going. Let me go back into your happiness. Let me go back into your positive energies. Let me get you the next stage. Let me get you in the next step. Congratulations. You process this. You overcome this. It's not going to come to you anymore. You healed it. Good luck. Let's make you more stronger. And then you see how the things are begin to orchestrate by the universe. All of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, I'm so thankful for this journey. Then you're going to be thinking to that pain. Then you're going to be happy for what you go through. Okay. You're going to be happy for this journey, for the hard moments, because they made you strong. They tested you in there. But at the same time, the love is energy is coming inside of you. It's so strong, rock solid there. Grande, if we take a good look at the pint, we can change it into our greatest strength. Exactly. Exactly that, Lorna. We like homemade pasts. We get grounded, stretched, and then ready. Exactly. You gotta be expanding. You gotta stretch. Oh my God, I stretch so much that I'm like sometimes, like Paulina is like, "Baby, what did you do with all this? I can't get handle this." I stretched. Why? The journey itself stretched me out. And
Like a
yeah,
pasta.
pasta, yes, yes,
Yeah,
flexible.
definitely.
How much can you stretch, dear? Oh, I can stretch a little bit more. Ah, baby, that's not a problem. Let's stretch out a little bit. How much you can stretch, Dio? I don't know. I don't know if there is a limits in there. We laughed about this for it, but the more and more we found in there mm, the more we finding that this positions of coming, and then it comes in because we understand the journey and we make the choices, isn't there? Even that those choices of you to be emotionally available, you to dig deep within you to search your emotions, you to understand why you feel the way you feel. Whatever happened, how you gonna process that? And then that helps you within yourself. That job that you need to do becomes and makes you strong to yourself. So, Laura, I'm grateful. I'm grateful too. I personally, I'm saying it that too. Grande, can I be allowed to join the Facebook group again? Grande, message me so I can know who you are because you may be blocked from other users and so on in the Facebook group in there. I don't know what Facebook group you're referring to it, but if that is a I am Twin Flame, let me know. Probably that's the one it is. And that's what the group is about. So back to you, darling.
Mm. Yeah, I wanted to mention one more thing that we discovered about the self-love. That's what you learn on the journey, but then you cannot forget about that, because we learned the hard way. We got reminder recently, with all these changes that we are going through and those transitions. It's just, of course, like, and I mentioned that in the video, like, every one of us, we had different visions of our life before we came together, and we are working towards just fulfilling all of that, because we don't want to compromise any of our plans or dreams, because we know it's not good for the connection. But this is just a self-love lesson. Are you able to speak up for yourself and just say, okay, something is not right, I feel I'm compromising too much, it doesn't feel right at this moment. So that's a very strong experience we have even before going together, coming to the union and through the union. And we both feel that it's, you cannot push too much. If you try to make it into physical too fast, it's either both sides or at least one side is not gonna be happy. Not even that, even the connection will be suffering, because we could see that the more we try to push, and I was trying to push myself to this change, we felt some pressures within the connection, and we both said, okay, something is not right here. It's not about avoiding all the changes. I think we both, at some point, we all know when it's the right moment to make a step and change. So it's not about even being afraid of doing these changes. It's just waiting for the proper moment. We had a lot of discussions about that. How big part is it your self-care and self-love because you don't want to make change? How much of this is caused by your fears? So the whole experience is, it's testing you all the time. Are you still putting yourself in a first position, or are you trying to make the other person happy, even sacrificing your own happiness? So for me, that was a big learning lesson, to not forget
Mhm.
about that. And the journey and the whole connection was reminding about it. And just to maybe finish up with this point, we're talking how important it is to have this faith, in those moments that it gets hard and doesn't seem to be a proper resolution. All I'm saying is, like, hey, if the connection is supposed to be there, it's gonna be there. And there is always, if both people want to flow with that energy and are ready to embrace whatever direction it has to go, both of us were like, if it's supposed to last, it will last. And suddenly, when we both talk it through, it started to get back on the right track, and the pressure went off, because we both proved to ourselves that we still have this self-love developed, and we don't want to compromise that. So just a personal example here. I
It's
think it's pretty
personal
precious.
example. It's a
Mhm.
precious for it. Maybe we should make a video about this union when the things are coming more clear because people need to understand it. But it's again is talking about this emotions isn't there. When you feel is something is not right. Touch base with your emotions is like, why do I feel like this? But it also why did other person isn't there? See, the union is not about you to be in a physical union and you to have all this um, family life, house development, and so on and so on and so on. You get in a physical union for purpose, with happiness, with the love, with understandings and in there that you are going to be enjoying every second of this union. Not like if you didn't accomplish something, not if you go against yourself, not if there is a choice that you sacrifice in there, and then that sacrifice is eating you up from within. Do you know how much power is in that, in there? Then begin to understand why the twin flames are going through this. You're going to find out the test that you're going to be okay with or without it in there. Where you're going to find something else that's in there within for the purpose of the union. It's not about only to have a 3D family play game like used to be and so on. It's much more than that. It's not about a house. It's much more than that. It's not about journey. It's much more than that. And then your concept about what you understand so far for union is going to be changed. And you're going to be understanding the power of the divine time. And because when the one person is ready, he's like, okay, I'm ready to get this happiness. I don't have anything anymore. I don't have to sacrifice anything. I'm not sacrificing anything within myself. I'm not doing anything against myself. I'm not doing this. I'm joining with everything I can do. And the other person, yes, I can that too. Then the union is actually does. Other than that, if there is a rush, hush, push for this union, it's not gonna happen to that. But it's again, it's you'd have to touch with your emotions is inside of it. And that emotional intelligence that it's lit with the spirituality is talking to you. And that is evolution, guys. The real power of evolution is in there. Because the more you do experience in this, the union gets even stronger. Even if your separations is in there. We're again experiencing this power of separations is in there, the healthiness in there. Okay. Because let's say we're already 99.9% in there. That little 1%, you're going to be have to work that out within you. Make that clear choices in there. So forth. All right. For Grande, the group when I joined for the Zoom call, I don't think so. I haven't been at that group in there in the Facebook. You're talking about the live chat group. Uh, I haven't actually. I stopped doing it in there because there was a lot of energies in that group that wasn't kind of like okay, and I lowered it down so that maybe you're talking about this group in there. Plus, I have issues with Facebook. I don't know about you guys having issues with Facebook, but man, I can even, yeah, Messenger has become major issue. So we actually switched to a different, okay, commercial time. We switched for Telegram.
But
Okay.
maybe we could make some joint call. Maybe that would be good to catch up with people just to see some faces instead of
Yeah,
names. Maybe we could try to plan something because
we can plan something
always.
again.
Mhm.
Lorna, the role of the new woman doesn't search to please the man any longer. They meet halfway.
Mhm.
Uh, yes, they gotta meet halfway, but this time it's not about because she wants to please. Mm-mm. This time it's gonna be this personal happiness within her that she makes that man happy. Her personal happiness that she makes the man happy. Because she's not forced, it's not this, it's just real thing. And that's what is this, the way I see it.
Yeah, we were discussing it, but it's always like sprinkled on the top some of those generational things that you have to heal, some of those cycles you were supposed to heal, and it's just all together in one pot. So in the end, like, I find it very confusing. What is the proper thing to do? And I'm just, whenever I'm all confused, I'm like, okay, this is time to just stop for a moment and just wait for more answers and wait for more clarity. Of course, there will be a lot of thinking, but it's just, those things should never be done from the place of pushing yourself or these confusions. I still believe that if the timing is right, you feel it. If you feel it's too fast, just wait it out. It can be different in a week, but this is a very big red flag if you feel like you have to sacrifice something because you should wait a little bit longer. So
Yeah,
but definitely
because
this meeting halfway, there has to be this balance, because it wouldn't be even good for the start of the connection if you have this balance, because there will be, sooner or later it would came up, because you were hiding it from the moment it came to you. You decided to, for example, hide it because, oh, maybe it will pass. But that's not the proper thing to do either. Just talk it through right away.
right there, talk it through it the right way because there is this balance in there. And as a Granda said, union is the balance between masculine and feminine, but the masculine and feminine within you. There is a four energies of within you, two different masculine and two different feminine. One is divine, the other is toxic masculine, divine and toxic feminine energy. They're all four of you, and that is inside of you in there. And when you begin to work within yourself, within those energy, clear all the mess, the soup, and so on and so on, those energies helping you out. But as a Paulina said in there, it is about this part of the sacrifice in there. If you feel like your sacrifice is not real and you're pushing yourself and you are getting in there because you want that union, because that's what the whole journey was here about. It's like union, union, okay, we're in union. Are you ready to be in that union? And Divine's going to tell you if you something is not ready for you to be in union. But if you pushing yourself and you go in these premature unions, which is, I've been working with people consultations at those premature union. Either the one or the other was not ready. Okay, had that case is that the lady comes in and asks me, I got my twin flame here, he's ready, and we are in union and so on, and we lived, but he's not happy. Why that he's not happy? He was forced. He wasn't feeling right. It wasn't the right time. So trying to force a union is never a good idea. So get you this out of your head, period, for it.
Mm.
But the honesty is there. As Paulina said, is when you feel something is not okay, communicate, talk to it. You think the other person doesn't feel it? Oh yeah, they feel it. Okay. And when it's the right time, divine time to talk about this, you talk about it. Because if you kind of like prolong it a little bit, then it's gonna comes in this time, it comes in there. So
Mm.
yeah. Uh, that's about me from me. I don't know about you, darling, if you want to add something in there,
Yeah, I
but
wanted to briefly talk about, because then I forget. But I wanted to maybe touch a base. Maybe it's good timing to talk a little bit about this physical part, because we tried to discuss that. Maybe we should have a separate video for that. But just to touch base, why people think that this physical part is even needed. It may be like trigger warning. Maybe that's very sensitive thing to say. But I'm wondering, because I tried to even look with us. Everything seemed to be perfect, but the moment we started to talk about just transitioning to the 3D part, being together, the pressure came. So that got me thinking, what are the proper even motivations for two people to come into the 3D physical union? So it's like there is a little bit of this balance. I think there will be more answers coming to it, trying to see why really people have to go, even if they have already union because they have this balanced relationship, that they establish balanced connection, why really they have to be next to each other. And if they find the proper purpose, that's gonna be bringing them together, like for real. That's the, the universe and the energies will be working towards putting them together physically in one spot. But there seems to be a little bit of work that it's even more important, that has to be happen on a separate, like on a distance. Maybe not for all cases, because not every twin flame couple has to experience this. But that got me thinking that somehow, if we are ones, like there has to be more people who are doing it. So perhaps like this is just needed. Maybe this is like a preparation for the next step. But you cannot overcome this. Like you cannot jump over right to the 3D part, because perhaps you would not be able to do everything that is required on the way. Maybe you will get some idea for that, or we can just have it for another video.
Just a little short comment in there for it. Why do you guys think this thing is actually happening? The universe wants to make sure that when you get to the physical union, you are happy. Your soul is happy. Your heart is happy. Your body is happy. Your energy is happy. Your spirit is happy. The universe is happy. Everyone is happy. Okay. Because if there is one little portion right there, that little thing is not, it's gonna comes in like this, you ever seen the two fruits, they sitting next to each other, and the one, it has some problem, and then that problem becomes a bigger problem, and then that problem transfer to the other one, isn't there? That's what how it's gonna begin. And the universe wants to make sure there is nothing in there. Everything is clean. Everything is perfect. Happy. Because from now on, that internal happiness is going to be leading both, not only the one person individually, which is they are working towards that, but both have this internal happiness in there. There's going to be a more going on within this, guys. We're going to give you some more stuff. Just so stay tuned here on this channel, and we're going to have more things towards you guys for it.
Let's finish with the comments, maybe.
Uh, Grande, I'm very grateful to listen to you too. I mean, I look forward for being there every time. Thank you, Grande. You're absolutely right. Love is invincible, regardless of whatever the wants. We're love or we here not. Exactly. And Lorna, harmony. That you're in harmony with anything and everything. And then the harmony brings this. I'm trying to remember who was the author. There was this book, I think was it something within China or Tibetan book there was that it was saying there that the happiness it's building the flower within the soul, and you're gonna be the gardener of that garden within your soul, and that brings you the harmony in there. But I think I can't remember where it was, but there was about this, about you, that's the flowers in the garden within there. So yeah, the harmony. Love virus. Ah, yeah, the love virus. For the love virus is going in there to triggering the real love. So it's called catalyst. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for the comments. Thank you for being here. If you have any comments or anything, or you want us something more specifically to talk about it, we're gonna come in and talk about it, guys. Okay. So much love from us here.
Thank you for watching. Thanks for sharing, and see you next time.
All right, let me just giving you some gifts of love up here. And I'll see you next time.
Mm.
There you go. Thank you guys. Be love from me.